Good day, everybody. Mitch again, and today I'm again working on maximizing my storage. I'm working on my Milwaukee tool cabinet today, and what we're going to do is put my chisel collection into this drawer. Previously, I had some small screwdrivers, etc., that I used to work on my 3D printers and stuff, and little baby screws and things. And since I built that station for my 3D printer in my guest bedroom, everything moved over there. So I've just got a few things left. So let's get this stuff out of here, and then let's see what we're going to be doing with this. Here is my chisel collection. These Japanese chisels my wife got for me for Christmas a few years ago. I bought a couple of extras, and they're pretty good. I do need to do some tuning to them. They don't quite fit properly in certain places, and the ferrules are not on them properly. So I'm kind of going to do this first, and then take that as a secondary task. So anyway, so I've got a little bit of room to play. As you can see, I can't use this box because it's just too tall. So we're going to make another one. Now, in looking at this, I think if I turn this sideways, I'll get more storage in here. And I've got enough to where I can put it almost all the way in the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the laser today, the xTool M1, or we're going to make, more or less recreate this box, but deeper. And other than that, just about exactly the same. So let's open up Fusion 165 here and see what we got. So we have about 406 or 7 mils of depth that we can cover. Now my laser will almost cut this, but I like to use this honeycomb, so I'm kind of going to be limited to 370 mil, and that should be fine. I can put a spacer block in the back. Plus, it's kind of hard to get that part out anyway. So we're going to go with 370 for the depth. And then I'm going to keep pretty much, I think, this exact thing here. So this looks to be about 10 mil deep. And so what we need is inside to inside. So that's going to be 235 width. There's 235. And like I said, what we're going to do is we're going to create a box. We're going to have cutouts for the handle and cutouts for the shaft there. And so we'll be doing that in a couple tools with the computer in xTool Creative Space. And so what's going to happen is we're going to need to recreate this stuff. So that's my overall dimensions that I need. I'm going to add 6 millimeter. I'm going to be using 3 millimeter plywood for this, which I think should be big enough. If not, I can always double up some places and make it 6 mil. Not a problem at all. So that's what we're headed with this, and then that also leaves me a space over here where I have other stuff I can store whenever I want to, and this should give me plenty of space. Now, one thing about it, the handles are not the same. They're mostly the same, except for this big one. So I'm gonna have to measure these all individually. So let me do that, and then I will get to the computer and start designing the box. Okay, so I got everything measured up. So this first rail, the back one that supports the back of the chisel, is 15 mil from the edge. The front, which supports the blade area, is 150 mil from the edge. And the handles are between 20 mil and 25 mil round. I may try to honor this, but I need a little bit of space. So what I may do is just add some to this. And then the average for the actual shaft part of the chisel varies from 12 to actually less than that, depends on the chisel, but around 12 to 14 mil. So I have to take that into account. Again, we're just going to cut these all out of 3 mil plywood on the laser.
So we're back at the computer, and we're on a website called makercase.com. And as you can see, it does several different types of boxes. The one we're going to work with is the boxes with dividers. So this allows us to create a box with some internal dividers. And you can do several different variations there. And so we're just going to go plug in some basic settings. So the first thing we need to do is change it over to millimeters, since that's what we recorded in. And we'll make sure that the outside is selected and that we're using 3 millimeter thickness material. So that matches the material side, because it's going to make slots and finger joints and stuff, and it needs to know how thick everything is so that it can do it correctly. So the first thing we're going to do is set our width to be 235. We didn't grab the height. I had to go back and get that, and we're going to make that 40 mil, and then the depth is 370. So that's what our box looks like with the default, and you can just use your mouse, just hold the left button down and you can drag it around. And we're going to have 1 row, and we're going to have 3 columns. 3 columns is 1, 2, 3, which means it will actually generate 2 dividers. So that is what we're going to look for. Now, this is not exactly in the final form. We're going to make some modifications to this once we get it into XCS. The last thing we need to do is, this is finger jointed, as you can see from the little squares there. I'm going to make this as big as possible, which is 11 millimeters. It doesn't matter, it's just less time and less cutting, and pretty much the same effect. In fact, I would go even bigger if I could, but that's just the limit here. So this is our box. Looks great. I'm going to click on download box plans, and here's what it's going to generate for us. So first thing I'm going to do is turn off the labels, because I don't need the labels because I already know where everything is going to be. So disable that, and then everything else I'm leaving a default, but you can change into the stuff that you would like. And then I'm going to click on download SVG. It's going to download the file, which is box 16 SVG. So I'm going to cancel this and jump over to XCS, and I'm going to select all my previous work and delete it. Oops. Which I thought I'd already done. Sorry about that. Okay. I am going to import our SVG. That's box 16. Very important on this question. Everything is relative to everything else as far as size goes. So do not resize it. We're going to take care of that ourselves. So no display in the original size. Everything comes in as a group. So the first thing we have to do is ungroup it, and then once it's ungrouped, we can move things around. So I'm going to print the bottom probably first. Sorry about that. Print the bottom first. I'm going to get that out of the way. Here are the 2 horizontal or vertical dividers that will basically the Chisels restaurant. We're going to work on those in just a bit. So I'm going to set these up here, and then these are the sides, so they're fine. I'm going to move these down here, and then these 2 things I'm going to put on the grid here. This is our canvas. I'm not connected, as you can tell, just so I can work without any distraction of seeing an image behind the scenes. So with these 2 things here, what I want to do is I want to change the X and the Y to 0 for this group of things, and that way it's in the upper left hand corner of the workspace, the canvas here. And the reason is because I'm going to modify some stuff, and I need the coordinates to be exact. So I'm going to select the first one, and then since this is a vector, I'm going to edit that vector, and we're going to move some things around. So remember, we went back and looked about where we need these vertical pieces to lie to be able to put the chisel on. So let's go fix that. So I've gone into edit mode for the vector, and I'm going to move things around. So I'm going to move these 2 slots over to the positions where I want them. When the MakerCase generated the file, it made them equidistant to itself, so that everything is the same amount of space, which is great. And that's why I love the site so much, because you can make a fingered slotted box in literally seconds. You saw how long it took us. Throw it into XCS, arrange it to whatever fits on the piece of material you have, and then start cutting, and then, you know, and 20 minutes later you have a fully glued together box. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this node here. That's what the little circles are. These are all nodes within the vector, and I want to make sure my cursor is the black arrow with the small little plus sign. So when I click on it, it's going to change it to a green color. I'm going to go up and change my X to be 15 millimeters, which is going to move it over. Then I'm going to go select the top node, and again, remember, make sure you're getting the black point, because that little other symbol you see is a ink pen, so you're adding a node. We don't want to add anything, we just want to move stuff. So again, 15. So that moved that over, and now I'm going to move the other edge over, and since it's 3 millimeters, 15 plus 3 is 18. And if you didn't notice, it accidentally moved it down, so I'm going to put it back up to 0 on the Y. Whoops. 0. There we go. Now for this one here, this is going to be 150. And the reason I'm starting with the one at the bottom is because when I start the one at the top, it kind of acts differently. I don't know why, so it just does. So I'm going to change this to 150, which is not far of a move. And then move the other side over as well to 153. Okay, so I am done with my stuff, and I don't need the second one because this is the exact match. Let me hang on back a second to make sure it is. Yeah, so this is an exact match of the top one. So I'm just going to delete this and make a copy of this one, and then just paste it in, and then we'll print these two off, and then make sure it lines up again. So let me just line these up. Okay, and I'll back out. So I'll get these off the canvas. I'll take this and I'll rotate it 90 degrees. Doesn't matter which 90. And I'll put it over on top of the canvas. And then let me go turn the laser on, connect to it, and then we'll get to cutting things out. Hang on, be right back. So I'm connected to the printer. I've got my bottom loaded in. It's over that. I could put these two down here, but I don't trust it. It's a little bit too close. So anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and print this one thing and then put everything else on a second sheet. So everything is set to cut, to output. I've got 3mm basswood plywood selected as my material. No triangle on the base plate, so everything looks good. Power is at 106 and 1. That's perfect. Okay, click on process and start. And let me run out to the garage and push the go button on the printer, and then I'll be back and we'll print up the rest of it. Cutouts for our chisels. So first I'm going to do the bottom here, so those will be for the handle. Just going to make just a circle. Don't worry about the size yet. And speaking of size, I think I'm going to make these, most of them, 22. And then I want to put the left edge at, let's see, 8 plus 3 is 11. So basically there's an 8mm gap between the wall of the box and the hole that it sits in. So that's 8mm. And then, you know, I think I'm just going to do 10. So 10 plus 2, that'll be 13. Okay. And then I'm just going to move it up to where it's half the distance. Oops. Up, there you go. Up, there we go. Like that, 13. Okay, so basically we got half and half. Now I'm going to go at the top and put another one in here. again, just going to draw a round circle. And this one, the width is going to be 12 millimeters. And I'm going to put the first at, let's just say, what, 14, so it'll be 17. And let me move it up. Down a little bit. There we go, -6. And then just for giggles, I'm going to select these two and align horizontally, but since I had my moving line, it should be fine. Okay. So this is going to cut out the recesses for the handle and for the shaft of the thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this, and then I'm going to zoom out here so I can see the whole thing. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to go to the grid array tool. I'm going to make an array. The max we can do is 10 objects or 10 iterations, or 10 items. And then I'm going to space them apart 18. Let's see if that works. That's too far. About 10. I think that will work. And then basically we'll go and add another pair down here. Yep, I think that works. And we can always tweak these. So let's do that. Okay, now I have a group. I don't want a group. I'm going to ungroup it. Let's see if these are still grouped. No, they're not. So I am going to select these and group them. And I'm going to make a copy. And we didn't want a copy of that. A copy of that. There we go. And then I'm going to take this down and put it in the correct place over here. Oops, come on. Okay, that one starts at 301 plus 22 plus 10. I want these to start at 3. That was right on close, 333. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Back out just to see. And again, we can always come back and tweak these. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the first one first, just to make sure it's going to work. And then I'm going to go to the subtract option. And what that's going to do is going to cut out our circles. Okay, I just noticed something. Okay, I did something bad. Let me back off of that. Where'd my other two circles go? Okay. Oh, you know why? Because I still have these grouped. Ungroup. Ungroup. Okay. Ooh, that scared me. Like this is behaving badly. Now, okay, now I get it. So basically what happened, I had the first one and the last one grouped, so when I subtracted this one, it automatically deleted that one, and that is not what I was after. Okay, subtract. Perfect. And then I'll do the same thing on these. Highlight it, subtract. And theoretically, I have everything lined up. Okay, this one. It's not going to be big enough. Now, am I going to have to repeat everything? Okay, let's see here. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. Yeah, here's what I did. I forgot that this one has to be 25 millimeters. And that means I've got to go back and change it, because if I don't, it won't line up properly. Okay, let me go fix that, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, sorry about that. That was a whole bunch of undoing there. That I didn't want you to suffer through it. So, but I do want to record that because this happens all the time to people, best of intentions. So I need to make this. I need to make it 14. Whoops, 14. And then this one I need to make it 25. Now, did that change much? I dropped it down. This is bigger, so let me get it up. Okay, these are all just a bit too close for my comfort. I'll move them down and over. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's see, make sure I'm cutting everything. I am not cutting everything. Okay, so first off, this is all cut and is all output. And everything is selected. Okay, let's fire it up and we'll go and do it. Okay, let me go press the go button and we'll take it from there.
Moment of truth. Okay, so this goes in like that. Pull it out that way. We'll have one piece there. There, one piece here, and that there, this here, and then the two over here. Okay, so first thing, let's check to see how we did on the spacing. Uno. Put these together like that, like that. Up, and let's pick a chisel. I think that works. Let me put the side on, make sure we got a lot of I'm going to slide this over into the corner. This close. Maybe too close. That. Just do that. That works. Yeah, that works like that. Okay. That is a bit too close. So we need to move this over this way. I'm thinking not much. We can do 5 mil without a problem. Okay, this looks good. These should go in here like this. You know the problem I'm going to have is I have this too tall. These need to be lower. Okay, very good. And then here is my big one at the end. Actually, no. Yeah, I think that's the way I did that. Okay, so that fits. That fits nicely. Okay, these are just too tall. I didn't really think about that. I built this box is meant to be flat at the top and flat at the bottom, and I totally forgot about these pieces being so high. So these need to be cut. I'm not getting about in half because we want this to be inside. So let's, yeah, so that works just fine. Okay, so that's 25. That fits there. So let me just go ahead and put all of them in just for giggles. They're not in order. That's okay. Okay, so first attempt, these are not bad at all. Yeah, I think if I just move this back rail in about 5 millimeters, I think that'll be fine. Everything else seems to be fitting perfectly. Okay, we just got to cut this down. So I just need to figure out how to do that. Okay, but yeah, other than that, yeah, I think that'll work. Yep, so move that in, move this down. And I think that will work. Alrighty, that's great.
So we need to shorten the height of these two, and that sounds pretty easy, but it's a little bit different than you would think. So we can't just go and change the height because it will mess up our circles. So if we did do that, the first thing we would have to do is undo the link to keep it asymmetrical, or the aspect ratio the same. And I want this 20 millimeters high. So if I did that, that would do exactly what I wanted, except it squished everything, which I do not want. So I'm going to take that off, undo it, and then I'm going to edit this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that node and I'm going to run it up to 17. So I'm taking off 20. So let's see what that looks like. That looks horrible. We'll fix it. Okay, and then on this node here, again, 17. Now, what does that actually leave us? So let's zoom in here. Okay, and then so what I'm doing, I'm going to move this one up. So just grab it, move it up. There we go. I'm going to pan over here. That's far away. And move this one up. Yeah, okay, come on. There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay, yeah, do that. What I did is I accidentally created another node instead of. There we go. Back out. And here's an optional thing. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to simplify this. Oh, I did not want to do that. Okay, never mind. Okay, so that is that one. So click done. I'm going to push it out of the way. And then I'm going to put this at 0, 0. And the reason I'm doing this is so I have just absolute coordinates that I know where they are, etc. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to edit this. Set this to be 17. Set this one to be 17. And then go and fix the corner there. Okay, that is that. So done with that. So that looks good. So these two are ready to go. Okay, I think that worked out. So these are 17 high. This is 40 high. So let me think about how to do this. So basically, I've already moved these two over to the 20 millimeter mark. So that's exactly where I want them. Now what I need to do is I need to lose the top. So I need to take the top down another 20 millimeters to make it match. So let me figure out how to do that without wasting time, and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is what I did. I just extended these vertical pieces down 10 millimeters, which is half of 20, of course. And then what I'm going to do is if I move this down to where it should actually fit, which is right there, I need to cut a notch here so that it fits inside. So let me try that. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to move it up to here and over. And then I need another one way over here. I'm just going to put it there. And then I'm going to take that, move it over here. And then move this one over. This is what happens when you don't line them up properly. That's too low. Okay, so this is 3 millimeters, exactly what I wanted. Okay, so basically I'm going to click done on this. And so that should fit perfectly. Tell you what I need to do. Let me. That is exact. I need it to be not exact, so I'm going to move this up a hair. Oh, not that far. Basically what I'm doing is I need kerf space there. Now the kerf space is really small, and I don't need that extra node that it just gave me. Dang it. Okay, move that up. Yeah, so that way this doesn't, I'm not worried about this fitting like that. So, okay, so that is that one done. And so now all I need to do is do it on the right side and then do this one too. And then that way everything should fit together. So let me go do that and then I'll cut them out and we'll come back and see how we did.
Round two. Let's see how we did. There. Here. Right one up. Look. Boy. That fits absolutely perfect. Close? Yes, it closes. Alrighty. I think that is going to work out perfectly. Okay, so here's what I think I'm going to do. I cheated a bit. I went over to my table saw and just cut the bottom of it off because it's about the same. What I think I might do is double these up. Make sure the thickness is the same. I've got a little bit more to cut off, looks like. Make sure the thickness is the same and then cut these off and then glue them to this. And that way we have a little bit more support. I had considered that, but I didn't really decide if I wanted to do it or not. But since I have the pieces, you could easily just cut 2 more of these and then just cut the tabs off so that they're flush. That would have worked perfectly fine as well. So before I do that, let me go ahead and get all this out, get it all glued up, and then we'll come back when I'm done. And there we go. Finished box. We got a bit of stuff in the back. I'll probably make a spacer and put back here. Once I get the dimensions, that's almost an inch. So I'll make like an inch spacer to put it in the back and keep it from moving. And then I've got a few of some things like that to put in here. This is a little cone, and you put this over the top there to seat this. This is not seated properly, and you bang it with a hammer. So that goes there. And let's see, they goes up here. Get this one lined up. I have room for a couple spares. I think that is good. So I've got one for 3 more. And yeah, like I said, I'll probably go end up gluing these in. So these will just, like I said, go. I've got to cut them down a little bit more. So I'll put those in there, probably on one side. I'm going to give it a bit more strength. I don't think it needs it. This keeps it from going around. So yeah. So that was a pretty interesting project. A little bit more challenging than I expected, strictly because of just how we had to modify this. How I might do this in the future, I don't know. But if I had to do this again, what I might do, I might just make this whole thing not as tall because I don't know if it serves any other purpose. The biggest thing is you don't want the blade sticking out and cutting you as you're grabbing something over here. That's the real reason why this is so high. I don't know if it's needed or not. So we could have probably saved a lot of time and effort modifying these 2 parts just by adding in or just cutting this down a bit and having it stick up a little bit more. That would have been perfectly fine. So that's about it. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it.